And what I have here, I don't know, maybe you got it too, but if you didn't, I'm about to share with you Bernie Sanders' prepared remarks on the political revolution continues. Okay? Now, he put these remarks together after it became apparent that insofar as delegates are concerned, Hillary Clinton was now the presumptive nominee for the Democratic Party for president. Yada, yada, yada. So this is sort of lengthy, but I think it needs to be read by me in case the people who listen to this podcast did not get a copy in your email. Maybe you did. If you did, you are dismissed for a few minutes here while we do this. All right? Here's what Bernie Sanders said in his prepared remarks. Election days come and go, but political and social revolutions that attempt to transform our society never end. They continue every day, every week, and every month in the fight to create a nation of social and economic justice. That's what the trade union movement is about. That's what the civil rights movement is about. That's what the women's movement is about. That's what the gay rights movement is about. That's what the environmental movement is about. And that's what this campaign has been about over the past year. That's what the political revolution is about, and that's why the political revolution must continue into the future. Real change never takes place from the top down or in the living rooms of wealthy campaign contributors. It always occurs from the bottom on up, when tens of millions of people say enough is enough and become engaged in the fight for justice. That's what the political revolution we helped start is all about. And that's why the political revolution must continue. When we began this campaign a little over a year ago, we had no political organization, no money, and very little name recognition. The media determined that we were a fringe campaign and nobody thought we were going to go anywhere. Well, a lot has changed over a year. During this campaign, we won more than 12 million votes. We won 22 state primaries and caucuses. We came very close, within 2 points or less, in 5 more states. In other words, our vision for the future of this country is not some kind of fringe idea. It is not a radical idea. It is mainstream. It's what millions of Americans believe in and want to see happen. And something else extraordinarily important happened in this campaign that makes me very optimistic about the future of our country. Something that, frankly, I had not anticipated. In virtually every state that we contested, we won the overwhelming majority of the voters of people 45 years of age or younger, sometimes, may I say, by huge numbers. These are the people who are determined to shape the future of this country. These are the people who are the future of this country. Together, in this campaign, 1.5 million people came out to our rallies and town meetings in almost every state in the country. Together, hundreds of thousands of volunteers made 75 million phone calls urging their fellow citizens into action. Together, our canvassers knocked on more than 5 million doors. Together, we hosted 74,000 meetings in every state and territory in this country. And together, 2.7 million people made over 8 million individual contributions to our campaign. More contributions at this point than any campaign in American history. Amazingly, the bulk of those contributions came from low-income and working people, whose donations averaged $27 apiece. In an unprecedented way, we showed the world that we could run a strong national campaign without being dependent on big money interests whose greed has done so much to damage our country. And let me give a special thanks to the financial support we received from students struggling to repay their college loans, from seniors and disabled vets on Social Security, from workers earning starvation wages, and even from people who were unemployed. In every single state that we contested, We took on virtually the entire political establishment: U.S. senators, members of Congress, governors, mayors, state legislators, and local party leaders. To those relatively few elected officials who had the courage to stand with us, I say thank you. And we must continue working together into the future. This campaign has never been about any single candidate. It is always about transforming America. It is about ending a campaign finance system which is corrupt and allows billionaires to buy elections. It is about ending the grotesque level of wealth and income inequality that we are experiencing, where almost all new wealth and income goes to the people on top, where the 20 wealthiest people in the United States own more wealth than the bottom 150 million. It is about creating an economy that works for all of us, not just the 1%. It's about ending the disgrace of Native Americans who live on the Pine Ridge, South Dakota reservation, having a life expectancy lower than many third world countries. The campaign is about ending the incredible despair that exists in many parts of this country where, as a result of unemployment and low wages, suicide, drugs, alcohol, millions of Americans are now dying in an ahistorical way at a younger age than their parents. The campaign is about ending the disgrace of having the highest level of childhood poverty of almost any major country on earth and having public school systems in inner cities that are totally failing our children, where kids now stand a greater chance of ending up in jail than ending up with a college degree. It is about ending the disgrace that millions of undocumented people in this country continue to live in fear and are exploited every day on their jobs because they have no legal rights. It's about ending the disgrace of tens of thousands of Americans dying every year from preventable deaths because they either lack health insurance, have high deductibles, or cannot afford the outrageously high cost of the prescription drugs they need. It is about ending the disgrace of hundreds of thousands of bright young people unable to go to college because their families are poor or working class, while millions more struggle with suffocating levels of student debt. Our campaign is about ending the pain of a young single mother in Nevada in tears telling me that she doesn't know how she and her daughter can make it on $10.45 an hour. And the reality that today millions of our fellow Americans are working at starvation wages. It is about ending the disgrace of a mother in Flint, Michigan, telling me what has happened to the intellectual development of her child as a result of lead in the water in that city, of many thousands of homes in California and other communities unable to drink the polluted water that comes out of their faucets. In America in the year 2016, in a nation whose infrastructure is crumbling before our eyes. The campaign is about ending the disgrace that too many veterans still sleep out on the streets, that homelessness is increasing, and that tens of millions of Americans, because of a lack of affordable housing, are paying 40, 50% or more of their limited incomes to put a roof over their heads. It's about ending the disgrace that in a given year, corporations making billions in profit avoid paying a nickel in taxes because they stash their money in the Cayman Islands and other tax havens.